You're watching The John Funk Show with Clarence Gaines. Clarence, you are an editor and a musician, and you've been a collaborator of mine on a lot of projects for many years. Thank you very much for your time today.
Of course, it's always a pleasure.
Can you give us your little intro or your little bio as to, who you are and what you do so everybody knows?
I've been a video editor for almost 15 years professionally. My first big gig was at Maker Studios, which was a YouTube multi-channel network back in 2011. It was one of the top ones. That company eventually got bought by Disney, where I stayed on and became a video editor for their digital marketing arm, which really helped launch Disney Plus. So I did a lot of trailers for early Disney Plus releases, more of the small ones. They're small documentaries or whatnot. And just usual YouTube internet content. From there, I've worked at BET, doing their digital marketing, and now I work for Nebula, which is kind of full circle back to doing more online content creator content.
Where'd you grow up?
I grew up in Cleveland, Ohio, believe it or not, and moved out here about 14 years ago to
Oh,
pursue video editing. Before coming here, I was working in education, and I was always telling kids, oh, you can, be whatever you want to be, do whatever you want to do. You just gotta go do it. And I'm telling these kids that in the classroom that I don't want to be in, that I with doing stuff that I don't want to do. I enjoy teaching kids, but I enjoy creating and making art more. Like that's my passion. So
sure.
I packed my bags, packed my Toyota Corolla, and drove from Cleveland to California.
Wow. And what do you edit on?
I use Premiere. That is what is the standard most of the time for the companies that I work for. When I'm doing individual projects, it can range. I'll use Final Cut if it feels like that is a easier, more efficient way for me to to edit a certain project, or if I need to go into Resolve. I'll go into Resolve to do a few things. I haven't done a full edit on Resolve yet, but there are tools in Resolve that I'm like, oh, this is great. Why would I do this here when it's so much faster in Resolve? So I like to go back and forth.
Do you use Avid?
I don't use Avid. I
All right, so all
never
right.
wanted to use Avid. I tried it one time and I
It's
hated.
old school.
Yeah,
It's old school.
I hated every aspect of it.
So and not Final Cut.
No, I do use Final Cut for smaller edits that aren't too long that I could just knock out real quick.
What are some reasons why you would, other than client, requests, why you would lean towards one editing platform over another? Like, is Final Cut better for, documentary and Adobe Premiere better for linear storytelling?
I think you're on point. I think for a lot of digital content, like if it's digital only, like small short form, Final Cut right now for me is what I would do unless I have to do too many like versions of it. Like if I have to do a vertical and I have to do regular 16:9, I'll probably lean towards Premiere. But I love how fast and efficient I can be using Final Cut. I wish some of those features were in Premiere, like like selecting a chunk without having to make in and out points and just deleting it, and it just closes it with like one or two clicks versus like with Premiere you have to do a whole bunch more. So I'll go towards Final Cut for simple things.
How did you learn? Did you go to school for it, or did you just teach yourself, or
I went to a private school in Ohio, all boys, wealthy outside of me. And one of my mentors, or my mentor at the time, and still like one of my closest friends, he's a filmmaker and he was a teacher at the school. And so, my English teacher saw that I wasn't very involved in class. Like I was kind of fade, like not paying too much attention. So he brought me to my mentor's room. He found out at the time that I made music, and he was working on a film, and um, wanted me to score his film, and so that's how I got involved in filmmaking or whatnot. And from there, I took some of his classes in teaching, the elements or the basic elements of video editing, and so I learned a little bit while I was in high school, and just continued from there. I don't know if anyone told me specifically, "Oh, you're good at this. You should go, pursue it." I just picked it up and just kept running with it because it was a way for me to get my ideas out. And I think that's what my goal is all the time is I love creating things. And so if I come
Yeah.
up with an idea, I'm gonna figure out how to make it, without a big budget or anything,
Mhm.
and my ideas come so sporadic. It's just, I'll just create something on the whim and put it out there.
What's an example of a project that you really enjoyed working on?
One thing that I enjoyed doing was in 20 it was a few years ago, and it was a my friend that I used to work with, he was doing a anthology, and he asked me to write a part for it, a piece for it. And so I wrote it based loosely on a true story of my own, and he loved it, and we shot it. I shot it in a matter of 3 hours.
Wow.
A matter of 3 hours with one camera, one location or two locations because it was my friend's apartment and then the car. And so I had the one camera, and then I had my action camera mounted onto the car so you could see. And then I don't know, it was so free flowing. Everybody had a great time. It was only four of us on the shoot. That became part of the anthology, and the anthology actually made a good run on the film festival circuit. I think we won maybe like 27 awards. We got
Wow.
distribution, and at the film festival that I did attend, a lot of people were like, "Yours was my favorite one." Because
What was it
the
called?
overall anthology is called "I Will Not Take Care of You." I can't remember what we ended up calling it, my part, but the running
Sure.
title was called "Pull Off."
What was like the log line or the
It was about a guy who was going on a date, and there was no real connection, and he didn't understand why. And he stayed on the date just trying to make it happen, and then the girl asked to go somewhere, and then she darts off and he goes following her or whatever. It's
it's a
it's
drama?
it's more than that. Yeah, yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess you could call it a drama slash, I don't know, I wouldn't call it horror, but I guess more of a drama. Yeah.
So did you direct that or
I
write
I
it
I
or
wrote it. I starred in it, and I co-directed it. Yeah,
cool. So it's on IMDb?
it's on IMDb. It should be available. It was available on Amazon Prime. It's available on most of the platforms. I think it was available
Great.
on Plex too.
Cool.
Yeah,
That's great. So you're multi-talented. All right. And you're a musician. You want to talk about some of the, because music's a big category.
yeah.
You
So for me, music was my first
love.
love, my first entrance into the arts. So I've been doing music. I mean, my parents enrolled me into the music school settlement in preschool, and so that's where I kind of, fell in love with it. And then from there, I went to Cleveland School of Arts for middle school, and then where I played saxophone, clarinet, I sang in the choir. I did all the arts, but music was like my main focus there.
What
Yes.
instrument is there a
I
specific?
so for me, I played saxophone a majority of my time. Got started on the clarinet, but then the saxophone became the thing that I played through high school. I ended up going to a private school, as I mentioned. where music wasn't necessarily, or the arts wasn't necessarily like a top priority of theirs. And so I then started producing. I produced two hip hop groups in high school.
Well,
I produced my own R&B albums, and then I helped score films for my mentor. Some that had distribution, some that were made good festival runs. What else? And then from there, I just continued to create through college and on. I have a alter ego now, that called named Lou Draws. So Lou Draws, I do more old school R&B or classic R&B from the 80s and 90s.
what programs do you use to create the music for Lou Draws?
Right now it's Ableton Live. My friend and co-producer, he uses a plethora of tools as well. I can't even He uses Pro Tools, but he also uses Ableton like I do. So it's a mix of tools. But right now I'm working on a short film based on the latest album that I've done as Lou Draws. So that one should be
Right.
coming out soon.
And what kind of jobs are you looking for? If somebody wanted to hire Clarence Gaines, what website would they go to, and what kind of work would bring to the table?
If people are interested in working with me, you can check out my website at clarencegaines.com or email me directly at clarence@clarencegaines.com. And I mean, I've worked on a little bit of everything from documentaries to feature films, to short form content, music videos. I like doing it all, honestly.
What is something about you that most people don't know that's like potentially non-industry related?
Oh, that's ugh.
I have a suggestion, but
Okay. Yeah, suggest on.
well, aren't you a bit of a traveler?
Yes. So one thing I guess people may not know about me is that I love to travel. I just started traveling, but once I got my taste of traveling, it has become one of my favorite things to do. I meet a lot of amazing people on my travels, and
I think
just
that's part of why the appeal. Yeah.
yeah, and just being exposed to more cultures, and then that how that affects my life and my day to day. I mean, like even with that short film that I spoke to you about, the people that were at that film festival, they were from all over. They were. There was a woman from Georgia. It was Georgia, the country Georgia, and it was her first film, and she came all the way to the United States to see her film being premiered at this small festival, and just to know that I met someone all the way from over there, and how her life was impacted by the same event that I was at. Like that means a lot to me. And so, saying all that, I enjoy going to different places and experiencing these different cultures.
Where have you traveled to?
I've traveled to Dubai. I've traveled to Singapore. A little bit of Mexico.
Where in Mexico?
I mean, Cabo. I haven't been anywhere that I really, really want to go yet. Like I haven't gone to Mexico City yet. And as far as South
Well, you
Africa,
will, and
yeah,
you've been to one of the many nice places, but
yeah, yeah. Um, I've been to
Bali.
Bali. I've been to
Mhm.
Bali. And in September, I'm have a flight booked for Japan. Hitting these different
Where in
spots.
Japan?
Starting in Osaka, it's the World Expo, the last few weeks of the World Expo, so I'll be going checking that out, and then
Awesome.
after that, Kyoto and Tokyo, and then if all goes well, headed back to Bali for a little bit since I'm already on that side of town.
Oh, that's great. They have great food, great movies. Speaking of movies, any particular film that you saw recently?
That I
Do you remember?
saw. Ooh, well, for me recently, it's like a few months ago.
All right,
But I saw Sinners, and that reinvigorated me for sure.
good. I saw it as well.
Yeah, yeah.
I
Ryan Coogler, I appreciate his work a lot.
did too. I did too. He's a good voice. I like how experimental it was.
Yes, yes. It blended a lot of genres.
Genres. Yeah.
And even musically, which was one of
Hmm.
the big things too. It blended a lot of genres, and I love his composer because they've been together since the beginning. They went to school together, so it's like I love seeing like a team work through every project they've done. Whether it be Marvel, whether it be Creed, whether it be Sinners, it's the same. So you have a tone, you have a voice.
Well, look, as you know, I've enjoyed working with you on many projects. I look forward to working with you again. You're a great collaborator. You and I usually work together with you editing, but obviously you can do a lot of different things. Do you want to remind everybody what your website is and any final thoughts before we wrap up?
Sure. My website is clarencegaines.com. You can also find me on Instagram at Lou_draws. You'll find my music there. Yeah, you can search Lou Draws on YouTube if you want to see some of my music videos.
Thank you, Clarence, and until our next video, thank you, everybody.
Thank you.